I want to start off by saying my son amazes me continuously with his strength and determination. He has the sweetest, kindest, and most loving personality, so there are no labels that could ever define or come between the bond that we share as a family. When we embarked on this journey of special needs together, I knew it was going to change our lives. We just never knew in how many beautiful ways. I like to think we're just like a typical family, we have just a few added extras. This is Keegan, and he has a gene mutation called SCN2A. Now, if you go research this yourself, you're going to become very confused, so let me try to explain. A gene mutation is what I like to refer to as a gene deletion. This can get very complicated and starts off with both the mom and the dad. Your body is made of thousands of genes and chromosomes. Each of them are made up from a copy of the gene you receive from both your mom and dad. For some, the gene deletion can be passed down and can be tested for. When we tested, neither dad or I carried the gene. I'm not 100% sure of this yet, but my understanding of this means at some point in the SCN2A gene Keegan possesses, there is a specific change that causes a blockage that doesn't allow the brain to communicate properly, to make enough of the gene that it needs to function properly. This could mean that he didn't fully receive the gene from one of us, or he received the gene and it doesn't function properly. This is very complicated stuff. Let me try to break this down in a more visual way for you. Chromosomes and genes are the command center that connect your inner hardwire in your brain. Let's refer to your brain as a map. This allows your neurons to communicate through your ions. In this case, the neurons are like stoplights. Your ions are like roads. This communication is vital for your brain to be able to function properly. If any one chromosome or gene has a variant or a deletion, it changes the way your brain is able to communicate with that whole gene, or in some cases, even at all. In our case, it only communicates with a small portion of this gene. The rest has been, quote unquote, deleted, or doesn't produce the whole gene. This causes his brain to send signals to this part of his brain to, quote unquote, wake it up, resulting in only what I can explain as misfires, and it causes seizures. What you need to know about us specifically is that this is a very rare and aggressive form of epilepsy for Keegan that onset later in his childhood. But this can present itself uniquely for every child. There are two different spectrums that are mainly identifiable with this gene mutation. Either autism or epilepsy. In some cases, both. Keegan has been diagnosed with epilepsy, and although we do see autistic traits, we are in no rush to add another label to his already complex needs. There are only about 300 cases like Keegan that we know of worldwide. This has made it difficult in predicting and planning what Keegan's future will look like. Keegan had his first seizure at 18 months old and went from having one seizure a week in November of 2017 to a few a week, and by December of 2017, when Keegan was diagnosed, he was suffering from several different types of seizures, totaling in hundreds a day. For a couple of weeks, I've been trying to share the content of our life before seizures. Keegan had sat up, crawled, talked, and walked. I really wanted to show that footage, but was unable to upload it to YouTube. I'm glad it didn't work, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Because honestly, it just doesn't matter. We are completely different people now, and to compare ourselves to our life before would be unfair. All of us has been through so much and grown into totally different people. I remember that being especially hard at first, but as time goes on, we've learned to appreciate it. Coming to terms with Keegan's diagnosis has been extremely hard. We had to lay to rest the life we once envisioned for Keegan, and during that time, there was a lot of pain and grief for the life that we felt like we had lost. I remember especially feeling a lot of guilt. I spent many days and nights wondering if this was particularly my fault. It felt like that at first. It took a long time for me to stop going over every little thing in my head. Let me be clear, we do not feel sorry for ourselves or Keegan. We don't regret a single thing and wouldn't trade this life for the world. But I hope any parents going through this in the future can feel and relate to this and know they are not alone. Keegan was made entirely of love, and he was made perfectly for us. We don't take that for granted. He is exactly what we wish for, and we are extremely lucky. We would never trade a single minute, good or bad. We know that Keegan couldn't be in any better hands or possibly be more loved. Michael and I have spent the last almost 2 years educating ourselves and taking care of Keegan. So it's been hard for us to keep up with anything else, respond with the right answers, or even at all. So much love and support flooded our home, and we couldn't keep everyone as informed during this time as we would have liked. Even now, in a much better place, we have a difficult time relaying all the information as fast as it comes. It's hard to explain something you don't 100% understand or have all the answers to. I'm completely out of my element and only hope to improve on this as time goes on. If you're still watching, thank you so much. We want to be an open book in this journey for others to learn and understand, and we want to be a resource for others going through the same types of situations. We only hope positive things to come from this. We do ask to be kind and respectful in the questions that you ask, but we, as always, appreciate all the love and support. Until next time, guys.